Hello and welcome. The topic for the editorial today is for the weakest. Uh, Let us see some of the words that have been used in the passage first, and then we will talk more about the topic. The first word of importance is revisiting bar. What is revisiting bar? To revisit means to consider again, and bar in this passage, the bar refers to restriction. So, a kind of restriction is being visited again, is being considered again, is the meaning of this sentence. Since this word has an alternate meaning, it should be marked yellow. Cogent reasons that are believable, that can be taken or accepted. Tinkering refers to improving something, an idea or a plan or something. Machine. Caveat is restriction or a condition. Moot, subject to debate. Moot questions subject to debate. Now these are the meanings, and these are the words which I found to be important somewhat. One thing I must tell you today is that the purpose of my channel is to make you comfortable with English and acquaint you as to how it is used. Spoken part, the understanding part, and of course the written part cannot be dealt over here, but then understanding and the spoken part are the two things you can easily follow from this channel. Okay, the topic for the weakest. Now this passage is a description to forward some advantages to the weakest section of society or the weakest Indians. And in this sense, the topic has been selected as for the weakest. Okay, the subtopic revisiting bar on states giving preference to the most marginalized among SCs is welcome. Here, SC refers to scheduled caste. Okay, reconsidering the restriction on states giving preference to most marginalized among scheduled castes is welcome. So the subtopic says that reconsidering the restriction, there was a restriction that somehow the restriction came up that the states cannot consider or categorize the scheduled caste category for giving more preference to the downtrodden in the scheduled caste group itself. The scheduled caste group is not uniformly marginalized. It is not downtrodden uniformly. Some of the members of that category are well placed and in the creamy layer, and some are highly marginalized, deprived of the benefits that the state gives to, in general, to scheduled castes. So it is talking about those group of scheduled caste members who are deprived of the benefits given by states for years together or for decades together. So the states, there is a stopple for the states to make such categories and act in such a fashion as to give preference to marginalized SCs. A revisit to that restriction is welcome. This is the subtopic. Okay, the opening sentence. The Supreme Court has given cogent reasons for a reconsideration of the verdict given by a 5-judge bench in 2004 that state legislatures have no power to create subclassifications among the list of scheduled castes notified by the President. Well. This was the bar. The bar given in the subtopic over here is being mentioned over here in the opening sentence. It says that the Supreme Court, in a verdict by Judge Bench in 2004, had said that states have no power to further classify what has already been done by the President. They do not have power. This is what it says. Now, here, the Supreme Court has given cogent reasons for reconsideration of that provision. The provision that was made by a 5-judge bench in 2004 itself. Now, the Supreme Court is giving reasons, believable reasons, to reconsider that verdict. The verdict which prevented the states from subclassification of the list given by the President or notified by the President. So, the things clarify the subtopic also. A 5-judge bench headed by Justice Arun Mishra has affirmed the competence of the states to give preferential treatment to the weakest among the scheduled castes without depriving other castes of any benefits. So, the 5-judge bench, as of date, headed by Justice Arun Mishra, has affirmed, has accepted that states are quite competent to have the preferential treatment to those marginalized or those who are weakest among scheduled castes. But then that should not intervene with the benefits of other castes. It means that if SC has a quota of 18%, the state should work out within that 18% to prefer those who are weaker than others. This is what the meaning that comes out with this sentence. It does not mean that you snatch away quotas from other castes. It means that you consider the quota of that very caste and you can demarcate a portion of that for the weakest among that category. Okay. The court has notified that a scheduled caste list contains many castes and cannot be treated as a homogeneous group. It says that the SC list, the scheduled caste list, has several castes in it. It is not uniform group. The list does not represent a uniform group, a homogeneous group, a one kind of thing group. Homogeneous is one kind of thing. It has recognized the obligation of states to identify for preferential treatment those sections within the SC communities to whom reservation benefits did not trickle down and were in the same state of backwardness states. So, it says that the Supreme Court, what is it? It has recognized. What is it? It has recognized. Who has recognized? The Supreme Court has recognized. So it refers to the Supreme Court. it has recognized the see it is the thumb rule for to identify how a pronoun is linked, and the thumb rule is that the text just ahead of that pronoun explains as to which noun the pronoun is related. So the text ahead of it is has recognized can only refer to the Supreme Court. So it refers to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has recognized the obligation of states, the duty of here obligation refers to the duty of states to identify for preferential treatment those sections within the SC communities to whom reservations benefits had not trickled down since decades, and they have remained backward as such. So, this is a plain and simple sentence, no matter a bit longer, but it has just one idea, and the idea is that states have duty to find as to who are to be benefited among the SC communities. Okay, the bench has disagreed with the formulation of E.V. Chinaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh 2004 that classifying scheduled castes into groups amounts to tinkering with presidential list. What is tinkering? Tinkering refers to an effort to improve in a casual way. So it says that uh, uh, E.V. Chinaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh was a case that was decided in 2004, and in that case, the states were barred. They were barred from touching the presidential list of scheduled castes and mentioning that they cannot further improve that list. So the sentence says that the bench has disagreed with the formulation. Now this bench, the current bench by Arun Mishra, Justice Arun Mishra, has disagreed to what was said in E.V. Chinaya versus State of Andhra Pradesh verdict. And what was there in that verdict? It was that the states cannot further improve the presidential list notified by the President of India. Also, the Constitution has been amended in to introduce Article 342A, under which the President notifies in consultation with the states the list of backward classes with a caveat similar to the ones in respect of scheduled caste Article 341 and scheduled tribes Article 342, that Parliament can make inclusions or exclusions in this list, and that once such a change is notified, it shall not be varied by any subsequent notification. So it gives the constitutional framework. It says that the Constitution was amended in 2018 and an Article 342A was introduced. And it says that the President notifies after consulting the states the list of backward classes with restriction similar to the ones in respect of scheduled caste. So the list of backward classes is notified under Article 342A by the President after consultation with the states, and that has restrictions similar to the restrictions mentioned for scheduled caste mentioned in respect of scheduled caste Article 341 and scheduled tribes Article 342. And what is that restriction? The restriction is that Parliament can make inclusions or exclusions in the list, and that once such a change is notified, no further modifications can be made. This is what uh, the amendment was done. What is the effect of this? So it puts the question, what is the effect for this? The court says that it could mean that just as in BC list can be divided into backward and more backward, the same could be done among scheduled castes as well. So it's simple. If it is for BC list, then it goes for SC list as well. The sorry, the BC list has a provision to divide the group into more backward and less backward. Similarly, scheduled caste group can also be divided into more backward and less backward. The less backward are creamy layer. As E.V. Chinaya is also a verdict by a bench with a strength of 5, the matter has been referred to a larger bench. So, what is the problem over here? It is that Arun Mishra bench, the bench led by Arun Mishra, had a strength of 5 justices, and it disagreed to an earlier verdict of 2004. Now, this agreement comes as another verdict. This disagreement comes as another verdict against a verdict issued in 2004. Now, that 2004 verdict was also given by a 5-judge bench. So, two benches having similar strength makes a tie. So, it is suggestive that larger bench, the matter should go to the larger bench so that it can have effect. If the judgments reconsidered, it would provide welcome relief to states that wish to fulfill their obligation to the caste within the SC communities and have made the least progress. The minimum progress. They have made the least progress. The people who have made the least progress must be given some preference, and in doing so, the states would be able to fulfill some of their duties, obligations. Again, duties. So, this is what it goes like. In the present case, the affected state was Punjab, which wanted to give preference to Balmikis and Majhabi Sikhs. These are the two groups which the government of Punjab wanted to give preference among seats reserved for SC candidates, but the measure was struck down by the High Court, citing E.V. Chinaya. Okay, it says that the Punjab government was just not able to give preference to these two groups only because the High Court turned down citing E.V. Chinaya verdict. Tamil Nadu has also carved out 3% compartment for Arundhatiyars. So Tamil Nadu has Arundhatiyas for whom they want to demarcate 3% reservation category within 18%, which is for SC quota. SC quota over there in Tamil Nadu has 18% compartment, 18% reservation. Out of that 18%, 3% is intended to be compartmentalized for Arundhatiyars who are deprived of the state benefits at large. Such affirmative action programs will be protected if a large bench overturns the Chinaya formulation. This is clear cut. Since both verdicts have come up from a 5-judge bench, if a larger bench comes up with a new version of verdict, the earliers will be overturned, the earliers will lose their significance, and This will definitely benefit the programs that states want to run. However, the outcome may not be an unmixed blessing for Dalits at large. It says that the outcome may not be unmixed blessing. It's as a whole. At large means as a whole. So, what is the mix? Recent jurisprudence refers to theory of law. Uh, Recent jurisprudence is looking towards the view that the creamy layer concept should be applied to SC/ST candidates as well. So the current outlook by the judiciary is that the concept of creamy layer should be applied to SC/ST as well. Given the oppression and marginalization Dalits continue to face, it is a moot question whether this is appropriate time to begin excluding some of them on the ground that they are better off than the rest of the community. This is an obvious question. Given the oppression and marginalization to the Dalits, to the extremely poor, it becomes debatable question as to whether today is the appropriate time to exclude the creamy among SC/ST to be uh, sidelined from the reservation category. The concern should be less about the creamy layer occupying posts under SC quota and more about ensuring adequate representation to the most marginalized among Dalits. So it says that whether you favor creamy layer of SC quota or not is hardly to matter. What you should do is to ensure proper representation to the extremely weak Dalits. So, this is the concluding part of the passage, and it is in the form of suggestion that no matter what you do with the creamy layer of the SC group, you must ensure full representation of those who are extremely weak or marginalized among Dalits. So with this, I close with a request to like and subscribe it. And besides, you can have a free PDF of the text as well as word meanings if you visit the Telegram site, the links of which is given over here. Sorry, it becomes illegible with yellow color. Okay, thank you.